case ena ka mokgwa o etsetseng ka teng ke hobaneng e ne e le medieng ene batho ba tsebile ka yone ka March. That's correct.
But Colonel, I want to tell you, and I put it to you, that this matter was already on the media or on the public domain from November 2023, when this matter was actually reported to ground up by Judge Cameron. 2022, I beg my pardon.
Sheba Colonel toko jotse tjena o etsala hore ntho case na ha e sale ne sentse tse jwa setjhabeng ho tloha ka November wa 2022 ha e ne sentse e tlisitswe mo paneleng ke Judge Cameron.
Now we are go khopolo ya ke worship case ena na ibile medieng holo ka March.
But according to my recollection, this case only came to the public domain in March.
March 2022, 2023.
March was 2022, 2023.
2023 worship.
In March 2023.
But your take on that may also be incorrect, right?
Empa ntho eo e buang o ka na etsala e foresight. I do not understand.
Okay, no, it's fine. Let's leave it there. Let's proceed. We'll take that up on argument. Say, you say the community is enraged, and the community is saying no bail for the accused 3 specifically in this matter. Correct?
When our batho ba tšhabeng ba kgenne haholo ho e leng hore ba hweletsa taba hore mokusi wa boraro a ska ba fumana bail ha re ka itotobatsa ho yena e jwalo ntho. Yes, indeed, the community is enraged.
Would I be correct to say the reason why the community would be enraged, as you state, is because they are of a view or believe that the accused are the ones responsible for the death of this Katlego?
Ke ke bonnete ha ke re batho ba setjhabeng ba kgenne tjena hobane ba na le kgopolo kapa ba kgolwa hore bakusuwa ke bona ba ikarabellang lefung la Katlego.
Ke tla re setjhaba se a se utlwe se bohloko ntleng ya ketsahalo e etsaetseng ya the entire case ena kaofela.
I'd say the community is heartbroken or is saddened by the entire occurrence of this matter.
The entire occurrence, what do you mean by that? What's entailed in that?
When I heard ntwe kaofela e etsaetseng case ena ke eng o bua kang le?
Ke bua ka ketsahalo ya ho ntsha motshwaruwa e lorong o tshwaretse diketso tse sehloho tsa ho hlokofatsa bomme a beta batho ba bomme ebile a ba bolaya.
I mean the deed of the accused person who was made to escape, the accused who had been convicted with heinous crimes, including raping of women, as well as killing them.
Okay, Colonel, I put it to you that the reason why you say that the community is heartbroken or enraged is because they are of a firm belief that the accused before this court, especially accused 3, is responsible for the death of this Katlego person.
Loko jetse he lebaka le wena o reng le ntho le o reng setjhaba se kgenne ka baka la lona ke taba ya hore setjhaba se nahanela ka sena le mohopolo kapa se kgolwa hore accused 3 hara bona ba accused ke emong wa batho be ne hore bana le seabo lefung la Katlego,
which is not the case.
ene e leng ntho e sa etsahalang.
Nna ke batla ke sa dumellane worship le advocate hobane ke dumela hore mokgwa o ketsahalo ena ya tlolo ya molao e etsahetseng ka ona le diketsahalo tsa yona ka hare di bontsha bosoto ba batho be le horeng batho ba G4S jwalo ka yena mokosi wa boraro mosebetsi ana o fumane ke mosebetsi o le horeng o tshwanetse a lokise di-camera mare ke monana o qeteletse a thusa ebile a susumeletsa hore ketsahalo enana e phethahale.
I'm inclined not to agree with you on that aspect because I think what has enraged people the most is the manner in which this whole crime has occurred, and especially accused, the role that was played by accused number 3, the person who was supposed to be having the cameras on at all times. Here he is, the person who switched them off, assisting and aiding this crime to be perpetuated.
Okay. Speaking of cameras, the cameras were switched off on the 2nd to the 3rd, right?
How do we get camera jwale ne di tingwe ho tloha ka di 2 fihlela ka di 3 akere?
Che worship
No,
When?
di tingwe neng?
di tinwe ka le bosiu ko mesong ya di 3
They were only switched
tsa May
off.
2022.
They were only switched off in the early hours of the morning of the 3rd of May 2022.
So all these other days, cameras were functional, footages are available.
Ka mantswe a mang matsatsing ana kaofela di-camera ne ntse di sebetsa le di-footage di ntse di le teng.
Ho jwalo, worship.
That's
Thank you,
correct.
Worship, for the indulgence. Thank you very much. That's no further questions to this witness.
Lieutenant Colonel, now I'm going to afford Mr. Kwainani to cross-examine you. Listen carefully to his question. You don't understand his question, ask him to repeat it or to rephrase it.
That e tla ba ntate Kwenane Lieutenant a tlo botsang dipotso mamela ka hloko mo sa utlwisiseng teng o a tjho fela hore a iphete kapa a be ka mokgwa o mong o tla utlwisisehang.
Ho jwalo, worship.
Understood?
Yes,
I thank the court, Your Worship. That's correct record, Colonel. My client still works for the company G4S. And this contradicts what you were saying. You still hold on to the idea that my client does not work for G4S now.
Sheba ntate Colonel. Na client ya ka ntse sebeletsa G4S. And then ntho e fapana le wena no e bua ya hore client ya ka e lelekuwe ko G4S. Jwale ke batla ho botsa tjena o ntse hatella ntho hore client ya ka ha e sa sebetsa mo.
Worship ke nahana ke ne ke entse phoso ha ke re o le dikwi o suspension.
I think I'd made a mistake when I said that he had been laid off. He is on suspension.
Indeed, you made a mistake. He is indeed on suspension. Matter of fact, his hearing would be held on the 22nd of May. Actually, it's scheduled from the 22nd of May to the 24th of May. So there's no need for me to deal with that particular aspect. Let's correct the record further. Colonel, you said that my client does not own the house 1602 in Sitlaba. That's what you said, right?
There was a version put to the witness. He was not afforded an opportunity to respond. He was told that his hearing is scheduled for the 22 of May. Can you have his response before we move on to the next Angus, as you please.
Indeed, indeed, Your Worship.
Okay, Colonel, he hothi ono bua nnete mo tabeng ya rona o entse phoso ka taba hore client ya ka e lelekuwe mosebetsing. Hantle ntho e tsalang ke hore hearing ya hae e tlo tshwarwa ka di 22 tsa May ka 2023. Ka taba tla utlwa tshwaelo ya hao mo nthong e.
Yes, scheduled for 22 to 24 May.
Correct, Your Worship.
Go ka di 22 fihlela ka 24 tsa May.
Ho jwalo, Your Worship.
Okay,
That's correct.
that's fine, indeed. Now let's deal with this other issue. You are aware that my client, accused number 6, is actually married to Ms. Masukela, and that they stay at 16002 Sitlava Street in Rocklands. You are aware of that, right?
Ke o hlokometse taba hore client ya ka e nyalane le Mrs. Masukela ene ba dula ko number 1602 Staba Street.
Ho jwalo, Your Worship.
That's correct?
And you disputed, in your testimony, you disputed the fact that he owns that particular house.
Wena ha ona o bua mona o iphisitse taba hore motho na o ke ntlo ya hae ya 1602 mo Staba.
Ho jwalo, Your Worship.
Yes.
And you were highlighting the fact that that is a house belonging to the relatives of the wife of accused number 6, right?
Wena o itse ntlo eo ke ntlo ya di family tsa mosadi wa accused number 6?
Ho jwalo, Your Worship.
That's correct.
I want us to correct record and indicate that accused number 6 is married to Mrs. Masukela, who inherited that particular house from the maternal grandmother.
Tlore lokisetse ena e Colonel. Accused number 6 o nyalane le Mrs. Masukela. Ene Mrs. Masukela ntlo e o e fumane e le lefa ho tloa nkgonong wa hae ka lehlakoreng la mmae.
Your Worship, nako e ke re ne re visitile address we confirm re buile le mme ke sa re ke ivodia Palesa Masukela ke ena hlalositseng hore ntlo ena ke ntlo ya ha ya relative ya hae yena ke ena e fumane ntate Masukela ha ana ntlo le deeds office ke checkile ha hona ntlo e registered le mabitsong a ntate Masukela.
Yes. Yes.
When we went to verify the address of the accused person, we visited the said address and we met with a lady called Palesa Ivodia Masukela, if I'm not mistaken. And she is the one who told us that that house belonged to her relatives. And we even went to verify it at the deeds office, and we found out that Mr. Masukela had no house whatsoever that was registered in his name.
Yes, what I'm saying is, this is a house inherited by Mr. Masukela, Masukela's wife, and that the house, in actual fact, belonged to the grandmother of his wife, and that they are married in community of property.
Ntho ke batla ho tshwetsa yona ke hore ke ntlo eo e le hore mosadi wa hae o e fumane e le lefa a nka e le hore o e fumana ho nkgono wa hae ka lehlakoreng la mmae ene yena o nyalane ka in community of property le ka kopanela dithotwe ka Sotho le ntate Masukela.
You would not know anything about that, would you?
Ha ona tseba letho ka ntho eo, okay?
Ke ne ke sa tsebe ke ile ka mantswe a ke a fumaneng ho mofumadi wa ntate Masukela.
I did not know, and I only took the word of Mr. Masukela's wife.
All right, let's proceed. But what do you know? It's a fact that Mr. Masukela, that is accused number 6, has been staying in that particular house for the past 16 years. That was part of your investigations, correct?
Empa ntho e tsebang ke hore Ntate Masukela a sala dula mo dilemong tse 16 tse fitileng and ene le karolo ya bopaki bo tlileng ka bona mona wena ke.
Ho jwale ho sheba.
That's correct.
And this gives us a sense of permanency that Mr. Masukela, that is accused number 6, stays there permanently with children.
Jale ntho e re fa he taba ya hore hona le botsitso bo itseng karolong ya Ntate Masukela hore mo ke mo a dulang teng ile address ya hae e tsitsitseng a dula teng le bana.
Ho jwale ho sheba.
That's correct.
This, you would say, given your experience, does not give us an impression of a person that can just run overnight and evade his trial, correct?
Jalo wena ka biphihlelo ba hao ntwena e re fa hore Ntate Masukela a se motho a ka tloang a rawa fela a ba balea case ya hae ka bosiu fela.
Ha ke tsebe ho sheba.
I don't know.
All right, let's deal with this. Mr. Masukela has cooperated with you as the investigators in this matter, correct?
Are e sebetse tjena e ha e sa le Ntate Masukela a ntse a na le tshebedisano mmoho le lona jwalo ka bafuputsi ba nyewe akere?
Ho jwale ho sheba.
That's correct.
Indeed. And he doesn't intend to evade his trial.
And as my maikemisetso a hae wa hore a balele case ena ya hae.
Ha ke tsebe maikutlo a hae yo sheba.
I do not know his intentions.
Right, let's leave that. I want us to deal with other issues. You have testified and given a picture in this court of how various accused, basically behaved or how they got involved in this particular case. That's what you did. But there's something that you never dealt with. And this is the involvement of accused number 6 in fraud, specifically in claiming the body of Katleho. Claiming it, and let me put it this way to you. Do you have any evidence to implicate accused number 6 with any fraud pertaining to any of the corpses? I'm specifically thinking of Katleho's corpse, for instance, in this regard.
Okay, when I was told to be like kaofela hore na ba kusiwa ba hlaelang mona o feng o amana jwang le tlolo ya molao. A go re bolelle he ona le bopaki bo itseng mohlomong hore na mo tabeng ya boqhekanyetsi kapa fraud o kenella kae haholoholo mo ho claimweng ha setopo sa Katleho mpholo hantle
Katleho bearing.
Katleho bearing.
Your worship, Ntate Masukela. Ka di 29 tsa April. Ke yana na thobetse gate ya G4S. Mo e le hore sona setupu sena sa Katleho bearing. Se kene gate e le hore yena ne tshwanetse le hore ha ne a entse mosebetsi wa hae ka phethahalo. Jwalo ka ha tshwanetse setupu sena se ka be sa kena ka hara prison.
On the 29th of April, Mr. Masukela was assigned at the gate at the prison. Which gate was the same one the Katleho bearing's corpse passed through, which shouldn't have been the case should Mr. Masukela have done his job properly. That corpse wouldn't have passed through that gate.
We'll deal with that matter. Just be patient. What I want you to tell this honorable court is the evidence that you have that links accused number 6 to the fact that he unlawfully and falsely with common purpose got the body of this person called Katleho to be released and taken from the custody of PJ Rengs, Tembinkosi Nomake, and Musiele. You have such evidence that indicates that he was part and parcel of people that went to ask for the corpse to be taken away from the custody of these particular people.
Se batho ka batla go botsa yona gore na o na le bopaki bo bontshang gore accused number 6 le ntate Masukela na o ne a le letsogo mo tabeng ya gore ho lo claimiwa setopo ho se leng ho se hlokomelong ya motho o tweng ke PJ Rensi le Tembinkosi Nomake le Musieleng. O na le bopaki bofeng kapa bofeng mohlomong bo bontshang gore motho o na le karolo ya bapetseng mo claimiwa setopo seo bathong bao?
Your ship, mosebetsi wa ka nna ke o fana ka information le bopaki be ke na le bona bo motšhotšhisi. Jwale motšhotšhisi ke bona ba draftang di-charges tsa gore mang o qoswa kang mang o qoswa kang. Ha se decision tse nkuwang ke nna.
My job is to provide the information and all the investigations that I have to the prosecution. And then the prosecution are the ones who decide upon the information they have at their disposal, who to charge with what and who to charge with what. I'm not responsible for that.
Well, granted. But let's be straight. You don't have such information that links accused number 6 to such fraud. Correct.
Okay, hare botse tjena wena ona bona bopaki bo eno hore bo kopanya accused number 6 le di fraud tseo tse di etsaetseng mo.
Your ship ke nana hore botšhotšhisi ha bo analyzer bopaki kaofela ke mono ba fitlhileng decision tsene tsa hore le yena wa ameya ka hara fraud.
Well, I think after the prosecution had analyzed all the evidence that I've provided to them, they then decided that Mr. Masukela as well should stand or should be charged with the same charges that you are asking me about.
All right. I see that we are avoiding that question. I'm aware of that. I'll deal with it later.
But that cannot be correct. He's responding to the question. He's not avoiding any question. That cannot be correct.
If that is the case, let me follow up on the same question, if it pleases the court.
Yeah, because I also wanted to chip in there. It is as if you are not satisfied about his answers. Whether you are not satisfied or not, he answered your question. And you tend to circumlocate on one aspect because you wanted to establish as to how is he, accused number 6, is linked to the charge of fraud insofar as the corpse of one Katleho Bereng is concerned. He answered, he gave his answer to say, on the 29th of April, accused number 6 was assigned to operate on the gate in which the corpse of Katleho Bereng happened to pass. That was his answer as to how he believes linkage is.
Please, court your ship.
Yes.
Proceed. There's a charge of arson against my client, accused number 6. And in terms of testimony, you had testified that the fire broke around a G4S or around cell 35, broke around 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. That was the testimony, right?
Right, because we are sharing Leona Mukusha 6 eno re ke kosa o tshisa. Wena o paking ba ha o itse ho ila ba le mollo o tukang cell 35 ka bo 2 ka bo 3 so okay. That's correct.
Are you aware that on that day of the 3rd of May 2022 that my client only reported for duty at 7:15 in the morning?
we tlhokometse taba hore ka di 3 tseo tsa May ka 2022 client ya ka e le mosebetsing ka 7 ka 7:15 hoseng.
a ke tsebe o ship.
Well, I don't know.
Right. That, now put it to you that that's the time that he actually reported for duty.
Ke a o jwetsa he ke yona nako e leng hore o ile mosebetsing ka yona ye.
And if he reported at 7:15, there's no way in which he would have been part and parcel of the setting alight of cell 35.
And ha ebe a kene ka 7:15 hoseng ha hona ka mokgo ebe a ka ba motho e mong kapa a nang le karolo ya ho tjhiswe cell 35.
a ke tsebe o ship.
Logically.
I do not know.
With the exception of the allegations that my client allowed the van that was carrying the corpse, or specifically that was carrying the TV stand, you yourself as the investigating officer do not have any direct evidence that says that my client, accused number 6, assisted or allegedly assisted Mr. Thabo Bester to escape from custody.
Ka ntleng ho nthwena ya hore wena ore client ya ka ile ya dumella vene e fete di gating tseo yena a neng a di gatile a dumella vene e fete mo vene no ho thwe e lashitse TV stand. Ha ona bona bopaki ka ntleng ho nthweo ha ona bona bopaki wena bo reng yena ile accused number 6 o thusitse hore Thabo Bester a bale tronko.
Your ship ke na le bopaki ba statement tsa di witness.
I think I have such evidence from the witnesses' statements.
Hore ke re Thabo Bester o thusitse le hore Thabo Bester a bale. Ha ne a ile a hanela koloi ene itla e sina gate pass hore e kene jardin a ka ba sa bale Thabo.
For me to say that he is part of the people who aided Thabo Bester to escape, it is because if he would have disallowed the van that did not have a gate pass to get through the gates, Thabo Bester would not have escaped the prison.
Ibile supervisor ya hae e mo instructile hore o kekebe wa dumella koloi eo e kene e sina gate pass.
To top it all off, his supervisor instructed him not to allow a vehicle that did not a gate pass to pass through.
Let's deal with that. Let's deal with that and correct record. Accused number 6, Mr. Maswike, who is my client, was actually the person that called the supervisor to the gate. Again, I take it that you wouldn't know that, right?
I can say that I don't know how you taba eo. O bona ena that Masukela leng accused number 6 mo casing e ke ena a ileng a phone la supervisor.
And that was when he realized.
A phone la supervisor hore e tle mo gating eo. Ene ke kgola wena ona e tseba ntho eo.
That was when he realized that the gentleman that wanted to enter did not have the gate pass.
Ene le ha hlokometse hore motho yena ba batlang ho kena mo hana gate pass.
Nkare na worship supervisor ke khola ka trial o tla paka o tlwile koloi ha e kena ka hara saliport a hlodisa lesobeng ka festere a bona venena ke yena a hweleditseng hore senowe kana go ye after hours e kai gate pass ya o kena mona.
I think the supervisor is going to give testimony during the main trial. And the supervisor heard when the vehicle was driving through. or heard when the vehicle was driving in, and he peeked through a hole and saw that it was Sinuwe. Then he shouted out as to Sinuwe, at this time of the night, where is the gate pass?
We will deal with that at trial. But let's deal with this also. My plan was, or let me put it this way first. We know that my client does not have any pending matter or matters before any court. That was the testimony, right?
Ra tseba hona jwale he hore tlanta ka ha ena di case studies tse le hore o ntsa di mathe. Okay?
Ho jwalo, Your Worship.
That is correct.
And we know also that he does not have any record of having committed any offense before, that we know.
Na hape ntho e tsebang ke hore motho na hana di record tsa hore tse bontsha hore o kile a etsa tlolo ya molao kae a ba fungona le molato ka yona ke.
Ho jwalo, Your Worship.
That is correct.
And given these, we can say that he would not endanger the safety of the public in any way.
Jole he a setse re fana ka bo setse re shebile o dinthong tseo tsa hore hana case hana record ha ona ka mogho wa tlobeyang polokeo ya di witness mo kapa polokeo ya setjhaba mo kotsing ka mogho ofeng kapa ofeng.
I mean, it's not a person that commits offenses against the public.
Sexual motho a tsamayang ka a ntsa etsa ditlolo tsa molao hohle mona.
Mare ke yena o e entse tlolo ya molao.
But here he is, he's just committed a crime.
I'm saying, if he were to be granted bail and looking at his history, I mean, it's 51 years. This is his first case. When we look at that picture or at that history, we cannot readily conclude that this is a person that will endanger the safety of the public.
Shebe how can you track record a motho o 51 years and ke case ya pele and ona le track record e wena o etse bang hona jwale ya o sabile di case tse ding o ka se re ha ka tswa ka bail o polokelo ya community o tlo ebe ya kotsing.
Ke santse ke tsho hape Your Worship hore setjhaba ka mogho nyewe ena e tsetseng ka teng ba maikutlo a hodimo ho lokolla motho wa mofuta wa hae ka beili e fana ka moelelo o mong le setjhaba bo ba ka qetellang ba se ba leng ba nyatsa le administration ya justice.
Let me reiterate this. According to how this crime was committed, the community has high emotions. And I think if a person, such as the accused person, can be released, it would render the administration of justice very poor in the eyes of the nation.
Yeah, Colonel Flyman. The basis of the question of the attorney, he wants to establish that since accused number 6 has got no previous nor pending cases against him, that he is not likely to endanger the public.
Okay, I understand, Kenneth.
I'm indebted to the court, Your Worship.
I understand. Under the mokowa potso ya mwili ke hore jalo ka ha accused number 6 asna di record asna le di case tsa ntseng a di mathela tse so fele ntho eo fela e bontsha hore ha ona ka mgo a tlo beyang polokeho ya setjhaba kotsing ka teng yena.
Ho jwalo, Your Worship.
That is correct.
Certainly. I mean, he doesn't even have a record of being violent.
Ana le record e bontshang hore ke motho a di kgoka yena mkhwana.
Ho jwalo, Your Worship.
That's correct.
Indeed. And there's nothing to suggest that he's going to evade his trial.
And I only ntho engwe hape bontshang hore o tlo balea case ya hae.
Ha ke na yona Bishop.
Pardon
Ha
me?
ke na yona. Ntho e bontshang o tla ba le case.
Yes, I do not have any indication to that effect.
Absolutely, Colonel. Equally, we don't have any evidence to suggest that accused number 6, who is my client, will intimidate the witnesses.
And hape ha rena le bopaki bofeng kapa bofeng be re nang le bona be re bo tshwarehang bo bontshang hore yena o tlo tshosetsa dipaki.
Ha ke na bona bopaki Bishop.
Yes, I do not have such evidence.
Absolutely. And such a profile suggests that such a person should be granted bail. But I take it that you don't have any comment on that.
Well, profile eo ya motho o jwalo ke yone bontshang hantle hore motho a jwalo ke yena motho a lokelang hore a ka fuwa bail. Empa nna ke tla nka hore mohlomong mo nthong e ke buang ha ona tshwaelo.
Yes, indeed, I agree with you. But it was wrong for him to put something to the witness knowing he cannot comment on it. That is solely in the powers of the court,
Thank you.
as it pleases.
I may not know, indeed, Your Worship, whether some witnesses never want to go where angels fear to tread.
You know, Mr. Kwenani, they say conscience is an open wound that can only be cured by the truth. And you know the truth.
I shall not speculate as to what people know. May I proceed if it pleases the court?
No, you have answered yourself. You may proceed. Thank you.
Indeed, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I just want to touch very, very briefly on what you refer to as, in your testimony, assisting one of the accused with, the corpse, carrying in of the corpse. Am I correct to say that that's what you said?
Ona ona le ntho engwe ke batlang ke tlo bua ka yona ka bokgutshwanyane mo wena o ne o bua ka mo ho ne o thuswa motho e mong hore a kuke setopo a skenye kara tronko ke bua nnete o buile ntho jwalo.
Che, ha ke bue ntho jwalo Bishop.
No, I did not say such.
All right, I'm just going to put this version of my client. But my client says that the person that got through, that got through the gate, driving a van on that particular day, was carrying a TV stand.
Toko bolele tlente ka ereng ere motho a neng a kganna vene a kena ka yona ka mong motho eo o ne a kukile TV stand.
Very heavy TV stand.
A kukile TV stand e beam.
And he says there's no way, if he had seen any corpse at the gate or anywhere, that he would have assisted the person with to carry the corpse into the prison facilities.
Arena ha hona ka mokgo ana kare a bone hore motho tshwere setopo ya ba yena wa thusa hore motho o a nkenye setopo seo ka ga tronko e bile a mo thusa lo skakasa.
Ha ke dumelane le yona Bishop. Hobane ke eno e etsahetse.
I dispute that. It has happened.
You'll deal with that at trial proper.
Yeah, I am troubled by this wording of yours that we will deal with that during trial. You ask a question, you attract that type of an answer, then you will deal with it on the trial. It's not proper. It's like, I'm not sure whether you are saying I must ignore it or what.
If it pleases the court, I'll leave that particular question and proceed with other matters.
Thank you.
Colonel, the evidence that we have is that accused number 6, Mr. Masukela, was never even paid a cent. At least there's no evidence that indicates that there was money that got to be transferred into his account.
bopaki bo re nang le bona e Colonel ke taba hore Ntate Masukela a ka patola le cent ha ona le bopaki kae kapa kae bo bontshang hore o kila ba le bo di transfer tsa ditjhelete ho ya
Your Worship, ho ya ka record e re fumaneng ya pele ya Capitec ha e bontshe hona le tjhelete e fumaneng.
Yes, according to the initial record that we obtained from Capitec Bank, it does not in any way show that there is any money that he received.
In fact, my instructions are that he's not benefited anything in this case, that he's getting involved, and he knew absolutely nothing about what happened here pertaining to this case.
And I think to accuse number 6 I buang ke hore yena ha una kuno e feng kapa e feng a unneng ka ntwena kaofela e etsaetseng. And le ho kenela mo casing mo ha ona le nthwana e tseba hore na ho ntso etsala mo a ntso fitwa ho bua kwana ho etsuwang mo ha una le mo casing.
Your Worship, ke tla hanana le yona hore Ntate Masukela mosebetsi wa hae gating ke hore koloi ha e kena gating a search a etse ka bojohle hore dintho tse batlahalang tse tshwanetse di be teng a di fumane, empa o tloetse koloi ene sena gate pass aba a instructor ki supervisor ya hae a ignora le yona instruction e ho ya ka nna ya bontsha hore ki part and parcel ya ntwena o na tsebe hobaneng a ka dumella koloi e a bolelletseng hore koloi ena na ha ya tshwanela ho kena jwale e bontsha sesupo sa hore o na ntsana le lesedi le tsebo le tjantjello ya ntwena le etsetseng.
I would like to dispute what you were saying. Mr. Masukela was assigned at the gate, and his duties was to search a vehicle that was to pass through that gate. But he did not do that. Let the vehicle pass through, and even his supervisor instructed him not to allow a person who did not have a gate pass to go through his gate. He ignored the instruction. And it only, all those actions only showed that he had an idea what was taking place there. And how could he then have allowed a vehicle to pass through when he did not have a gate pass, when there was instruction not to allow it, if he did not indeed know what was happening?
At the right time, Mr. Masukela would come and argue that things never actually occurred that way. And that there was a stage where they got distracted whilst they were at the gate, and he would give a full picture of what transpired on that particular day. But that would not be for now.
Kana ko lokileng o tlo tla ena ntsha bopaki hore hantle tle dintho a di etsela ka mokgwa wena ntse go di etsaetse ka teng, and o tlo bua le ena hore no ho la ba le tshitiso e itseng e leng ya etsala ha ba ntse ba le gating mo, empa and o tlo fana jalo ka setshwantsho se felletseng hore ke le eng e etsaetseng, empa ntho ya ga tlo e etsa ona jalo.
That will happen there. Let's tick off this just to make sure. My client, Mr. Masukela, does not have a passport. You know, I omitted this. That was testimony, right?
That Masukela ana passport and luena ene tsele bopaki ba hao bo, okay? That's correct.
And that really relates to the issue.
I don't really want to object and interfere. There's a statement made to the witness that at the right time, what the accused will tell the court and what had transpired, and that something happened there. And when he is supposed to be answering, now we move into the passport. He has not been given the benefit of responding to that statement that was put to him. As please the court,
You should let him have his benefit, Your Worship. God please, Your Worship.
No, that cannot be correct.
Mr. Kwenane, yes, when you are asking questions, like I indicated earlier, you would ask a question and end with a particular statement of which is not giving the witness opportunity to comment. Please, when you put a version or statement or any question, just allow him to comment on it.
Your Worship, it's not my intention not to deny him a chance to respond. But the court and my colleague, Leonard colleague, will appreciate the fact that I'm actually seized with things that I'm focusing on. And I would not necessarily want him not to deal with a particular question. He's at liberty to do.
Yes, please take care of that.
Indeed, we will, certainly, Your Worship.
Yes,
Okay.
can Colonel perhaps react on the version put by the attorney?
Okay, Kenan. Arabe, Montunyana e bua ya hore kana go loketseng go tla ba le mo a tlo buang hore ona ba le tshitiso dintho a di a etsela ka mogho wena o ntse o di bua ka teng dile ba le mo a tsitsang teng a ba fana ka picture ka ofela ene tse le mo ke yona karolo o nne o se o e arabe o reng wena ka ntho ka statement seo sa mwedi
If you've got a comment on that.
le teng ha ebe hona le ntho batlang o tshwaela ka yona ntho nyewe wa e buang ka dintho tse tla etsalang motla trial kwa.
Ha ke na comment Your Worship.
I do not have a comment on that.
Thank you. Let's deal with this. You said that the community is heartbroken by what has happened and that you'd like the accused people to be kept or rather be denied bail. That's what you said, right?
With a situation ke ntho e etsaetseng ebile ha ba batle go ba batla hore a hanelwe ka bail ntate Masukela ke
Ho jwalo, Your Worship.
that's correct.
But if Mr. Masukela poses no threat to the community, why should he be denied bail?
Ha bene asna matshosetsi a le hore o a tobisa setjhabeng ntate Masukela ke eng e tlo etsang hore a hanelwe ka bail.
Jwalo ka se ke hlaloseditse lekgotla hore mona na re sheba ke dumela moahlodi o sheba le di-interest tsa setjhaba tsa hore ke ha ntho nyewe ena na ke ya mofuta o jwang e etsaetse jwang ene le yena ha re tjho setjhaba se ka mo hlatseela ha ka tswela ka ntle ka bile.
Like I explained before, the presiding officer takes care of the interests of the community and as to how this crime was carried out, how it happened, and what happened during its commission. And the other thing is, should he be released on bail? The community could easily attack him or put him in harm.
Well, I put it to you that there are no compelling reasons to deny accused number 6 bail, and that the court would look at not only the interests of the community, but also the interest of Mr. Masukela in terms of his liberty and the nature of the case. I don't know whether you have a comment on that.
Bona tlo go jetse ona ntho ha ona mabaka mona a qobellang hore ntate Masukela a ska fumana bail and hape le khotla ha la sheba di interest kapa di tabatabelo tsa setjhaba fela le khotla ntse le tlameile hore ne le shebe di tabatabelo tsa ntate Masukela interest tsa hae le yena le taba ya bolukului ba hae a tsebela bene ona le tshwaelo mo nthong.
Ha ke na tshwaelo.
I do not have a comment there too.
Bishop, I'm done. I'd like to just check one or two things. No further question. This is the smallest court that I've ever seen, Your Worship. Your Worship, I am done, and I thank the court. Thank you, Colonel.
Thank you, Mr. Botha. Colonel Flyman, I'm now allowing Mr. Botha to cross-examine you.
Yeah, ke dumela ntate Botha hore a ka bosolose dipotso ntate Flamme.
Yes, Your Worship.
Are we skipping applicant number 4? Was it not supposed to be Mr. Mururi for applicant number 4 now?
Oh. Thank you.
Yes, because I know he reserved his cross-examination so that Mr.
Yeah, Mr.
Daniels
Muloli.
should deal with it. So he has never cross-examined for number 4.
Yes.
As a pleasure.
Yeah, let me check with Mr. Mururi.
Yes, Your Worship. Your Worship, I had already been indulged by the court. I think the court's hands in respect of this one. I can go after my learned colleague, before my learned colleague, but I'm ready to proceed. Your Worship.
Yes,
Whichever
now
one the court prefers.
let us try to push it chronologically. You may proceed.
I say, God, please.
Good morning, Colonel.
Dumela Kene.
Morning, Advocate.
Good morning, advocate.
Colonel, I can promise you that I'm not going to be as long with you today as I was on the other day. Perhaps let us start here. Firstly, you, in your examination, indicated that my client, being applicant number 5, alternatively accused number 7, was involved in this crime. And I put it to you that at the right forum, he will come and deny being involved in anything in this matter, in the commission of this crime. My apologies.
Colonel, a ke toba motelele le wena ya tsatsing lena. Jalo ka ke ne ke le motelele nakong e fetileng. Ke batla ho blella fela hore ntho e ke tlo e highlighta mo ho wena tsatsing lena ke taba hore accused number 7 eleng applicant number 4 mo casing ena yena o tlo hanana le taba ya hore hona le karolo a e bapetseng mo tlolong ya molao ena e leng hore re mona ka yona ha ona mo ka mogho a nkileng karolo ka teng.
Yeah, Hanana Leone, Your Worship.
I dispute that.
You testified, Colonel, that accused number 4 was one of the people who were opening the doors as the crime was being committed, the prison doors. Is that correct?
Applicant number 4. Okay. O itse ntate o ene le motho e mong ana ene le motho a tlamileng a nna bule body gate ka nako eo. Ene le e mong wa batho ba tlamileng ba bule di gate.
Ho jwalo, Your Worship.
That's correct?
And I put it to you, Colonel, that you further testified that a person whom you purport to be Thabo Bester left the prison vicinity dressed in G4S uniform. Is that correct?
Ntsheng wa bo o e buileng ke taba hore motho e ho ne o theke Thabo Bester o tsamaile mo me awang e ya tronko a apere uniform ya G4S. Ake?
Ho jwalo, Your Worship.
That's correct.
I put it to you that my client says, if it is that he opened any doors on the night of the 2nd to the 3rd of May, it was in the furtherance of his duties at the prison.
tla go bolele motlhosi ngwana o re ena ha ebe ho etsaetse ebe o butse di-gate bosiung bo ba di-2 ho yella mesong ya di-3 sa May 2022 ha ebe ho etsahetse or o be o butse di-gate e ne le ha a etsa mosebetsi wa hae jwalo ka ntsa thoetse fela. Well, I would not dispute that.
Colonel, you testified further that the accused number 7, applicant number 4, has been fired from his place of employment. Do you know when this took place?
When I would say applicant number 4, ulele kuwe mo sebetsang teng. Ebe wa tseba ulele kweni?
Yo supa ke sa fosi ke ka di 31 tsa January 2023.
If I am not mistaken, it was on the 31st of January 2023.
And you further testified that some of the witnesses who testified in the disciplinary hearing will be are potential witnesses in this criminal trial. Is that correct?
And when I was talking about how it's a more disciplinary hearing, ha case internally, inte ito baba to babam bato pakang casing ena kabiona, ha since seku. Okay? That is correct.
What I did not hear you testify, Colonel, is that the accused, applicant number 4, has threatened any of these people.
Nto exa yutwang o yentsha bopaking ba hao ke hore applicant number 4 o ile a tshosetsa ba bang ba dipaki tseo kae. That's because I do not have any evidence to that effect.
Colonel, part of what you testified is that accused number 4 received an amount of 14,000 rands from accused number 1. Rather, accused number 7 from accused number 1.
Engwe bopaki bo bontshitseng ke hore jolo ka ena le accused number 7 hona le 14,000 rand da ai fumaneng ho tswa ho accused 1. That is correct.
Put it to you that at the right platform, accused number 7 will come and testify as to the reason for this transaction.
Tlo jetse mo sebakeng se loketseng ha o so pakua o tlo hlalosa he hore na le baka la hore fumane tšhelete eo enele e.
Do you have a comment, Colonel?
I do not have a comment.
Colonel, tell me, where was accused number 7 arrested? The fourth applicant, where was he arrested?
A go re bolelle he o tshwerwe a le ho kae mokopi wa bo 4. We arrested him at his abode where he stays.
And you confirmed that this is indeed his property?
And I netefatsa hore ke ntlo ya hae yona e. Yes, I do.
Colonel, you testified that the fourth applicant is divorced. Is that correct?
On se bopaki hape hore yena o divorced. Okay? That is correct.
I put it to you that he is not divorced.
Ka o jwetsa nna he kene. Motho o ha divorce. But that's what he told me. He said he was divorced.
Colonel, when you testified in chief, that was not your version. In fact, your version was, it looks like he is divorced, he doesn't stay with the wife.
Bona wena ha se ka mkhwe beileng ka teng ha o no ntsha bopaki ba hao pele kona o itse e kare o divorceitse hobane ke mo ha dule le mosadi wa hae.
Yena ha la hlalosa bitse ke mo butsitse hore mo dula teng o dula le ma are o dula le mo mosadi o dula kana kare o divorceitse are o divorceitse.
I inquired from him with whom he was staying. He told me that he was staying alone. So I asked whether he had a wife or not. He told me that his wife was staying at a separate place. Then I asked him if he was divorced. He confirmed it.
Colonel, I will not belabor this point, but finally, did you see a decree of divorce to that extent?
Well, can re hule e betelele ntho o bone decree wena ya divorce bontshang o divorce tseleng nnete?
Chair, I gave one your worship.
No, I did not see the divorce decree.
You also testified that his hometown is Ruvel. Is that correct?
Bakimba o itse mo a tswang teng ke Ruvel.
Ho jwalo worship.
That is so.
Do you know if the accused has any previous convictions?
Ebe wa tseba hore o na le di record?
Ha na tsona worship.
He doesn't have any.
Any pending matters?
The case tsa ntseng a di mathela?
Ha na tsona worship.
He has none.
Do you have any reason to believe that the accused number 7 in particular, is a violent person?
O na le baka le etsang hore o kgolwe hore accused number 7 ke motho a dikgoka?
Ha ke mo tsebe o tlola ho feta mo le worship. Ke ne ke qala ho mona ha ya mo tshwara worship.
No, I did not know him that well. I do not know him further than what I know about him. The first time I saw him was when we were arresting him.
Colonel, you testified that applicant number 4 does not have a passport. Is that correct?
Or it's a Hana passport, applicant number 4, okay?
Ho jwalo worship.
But that's correct.
In his affidavit under oath before this honorable court, he testified that he has a passport. What do you say to that?
When I announced the affidavit, mona e lo re nkuwe tlasakano mo aneng a tsebisa lekgotla lena hore o na le yona passport o reng wena ka ntho eo?
Ke tseba nna o ha na passport worship.
As far as I know, he does not have a passport.
Did you investigate whether or not he has a passport, Colonel?
We will investigate.
Ke fuputsitse worship.
Yes, I did investigate.
Colonel, I'm going to show you a document.
Ke tlo bontsha tokomane Kenel.
If you could just enlighten us as to what this document is.
Ene o re jwetse he hore na ke eng tokomane ena?
Ke passport worship.
It is a passport.
Whose passport is it, Colonel?
Yamma.
Ke ya France Makhotsa.
It belongs to France Makhotsa.
And when was it issued?
In issue le
Ka 2016 worship.
in 2016.
And when does it expire?
Expiring
E expire ka 2024 worship.
in 2024.
So you agree with me now that your investigations were incorrect?
Jwale wa dumelana le nna ke re diphuputso tsa hao ne di fosahetse?
Ke a dumela worship.
Yes, I do.
Colonel, I've been instructed by the 4th applicant that I must tender that passport over and hand it over to you for safekeeping.
And ke bolelletswe he hore ke bolelletswe ke ena applicant number 4 mo. Hore ko fe yona passport e. Wena we boloke safe mo di behang teng.
Ke tla etsa jwalo worship.
I will do that.
Thank you so much, Colonel. Colonel, in your honest opinion, do you believe that someone who intends to flee would hand over a passport knowing that the investigating officer does not know that he has one?
Sheba ha go bolelle wena ka kore maikutlong a hao ka botshepehi Kenneth. Hore motho a ikemiseditseng go baleya go ipha dimenyane a bale case ya hae a ka fana ka passporto ho le focus la case e kgahlanong le yena e le hore le focus le ne nsa tsebe le o tseba hore o na le yona passport eo.
A ke no tswaela ke kgone ho tswaela.
Well, I do not have a comment there too.
Mr. Court pleases, Your Worship. Your Worship, may I turn my back on this court to take an instruction? Colonel, just one last aspect. At the time of the arrest, would you say the fourth applicant was cooperative with you?
Ya go qetela Colonel. Ka nako eo le le motshwara applicant number 4 o tla re motho o fane ka tshebisano mmoho ho lona.
Ho jwale ho shi.
Yes.
It is my instruction, Colonel, that accused of applicant number 4, as he has with the passport, undertakes to continue assisting in this investigation.
Tlo jetse he Colonel ka le instruction e tjena hore jalo ka ha le yena hona jwale a sentseneng a thusitse hore a fanele ka bo passport jalo jwalo. O ntse ikemiseditse hore a thuse ka mkhwa ka kgonang mo diphuputsong tsena ntse di tswelletse.
Do you have a comment on that, Colonel?
Na le tshwaelo o dimanthe.
Ha ke na yona ho shi.
I do not have a comment.
As the court pleases, Your Worship. That would be the cross-examination in respect of applicant number 4.
Thank you, Worship. May I proceed?
You may proceed, sir.
Colonel, you agree that applicant number 5 have no previous convictions?
O dumela hore applicant ya bo 5 ha ena ntho di record that.
Ho jwale ho shi.
Yes, I do.
Colonel, you agree applicant number 5 also have no pending cases?
And o dumela ape hore ana di case tsa di matter.
Ho jwale ho shi.
Yes, I do.
You also agree there's no warrants against applicant number 5 at this stage?
And apa ona le di warrant tse di batlana le ena ke.
Ho jwale ho shi.
That is correct.
You also agree you don't have any proof that applicant number 5 have a has a history of violence?
And apa dumela motho ena ha ana nalane kapa history ya di khoka.
Ha ona ha ke na yona ho shi.
Yes, I do not have any evidence to the contrary.
You also agree that applicant number 5 is not on parole?
And apa le ntho hore ha se motho e leng ho paroleng. Ntse dumelana lo.
Ho jwale ho shi.
Yes, I do.
You also agree that applicant number 5 does not have a passport, is that correct?
And I do tell about applicant number 5 and a passport.
Ho jwale ho shi.
That's correct.
You also confirm that the address of applicant number 5 was confirmed by you?
And hape when it was into our we confirm the address ya haya ke.
Ho jwale ho shi.
Correct?
Is it also correct that applicant number 5 was arrested at her house, 9 Abdurman Street, Ashbury, Heridal?
And when it was into our ochoro konto e leng hore ke number 9 ko Abdurrahman ko Ashbury.
Ho jwale ho shi.
That's correct.
And do you also agree when applicant number 5 was arrested, the arrest was peacefully, she did not try to run away?
And wa netefatsa le ntho hore ha a neng a tshwarwa ho ne ho la le khotso fela ho le a sa leke lo bale ha osna di khuduero.
Ho jwale.
That's correct.
Do you also agree that applicant number 5, since the starting of this investigation, give a full cooperation to the South African police?
And wa dumela taba hore ha e sale ho qadile diphuputso tsena ha a fana ka tshebedisano mmoho e felletseng ho seponeseng.
Ho jwale ho shi.
That is correct.
Do you also agree that applicant number 5 does not have the tendency to commit Schedule 1 offences?
And hape wa dumela ntho ya hore applicant number 5 ha na tlwaelo ya ho nna a ntsa etsa ditlolokaka tsa molao mona le mane.
Ho thata o nka tjho jwalo. Ha ke tsebe sepheo sa hae.
Well, it will be difficult for me to confirm that. I do not know her behavior.
But you will agree with me, as she's sitting here today in the accused box, it is the first time she's clashing with the law.
Eba dumelana na hore jwalo ka dutse tjena ka ra doko eo ke kgetlo la pele a fapane le molao.
Ho jwale according to the record ho shi.
Yes, it is so according to the record.
You agree with me, you don't have any evidence that if the court release applicant 5 today on bail, she will evade the trial.
And when I have a patch, but how can it's a look like a bailey that's in Lena, Otobalia Kisina?
Ha ke na bopaki Your Worship.
Yes, I do not have such evidence.
You also agree with me, you don't have any evidence that applicant 5, if she released on bail, she will interfere with state witnesses.
And I pay le bobombo paki ho ena mona bobon sang hore ha ka tswa ka ntle o lo petrana le diphuputso.
Ha ke tsebe, Your Worship.
I do not know.
But you will agree with me, Thabo Bester escaped on 3 May 2022, is that correct?
O dumelana le nna o Thabo Bester o baleile tronkong ka di 3 tsa May ka 2022.
Ho jwalo, Your Worship.
That's correct.
And you will agree with me, applicant number 5 was arrested on the 1st of May 2023. That is more than 1 year, is that correct?
And o dumelana na he applicant number 5 o tsore ka di 1 tsa May ka 2023. Ntwe e leng hore ke nako e fetang selemo kaofela.
Ho jwalo, Your Worship.
I agree.
And you will agree with me, in this 1 year, while before applicant number 5 was arrested, you don't have any proof today in court that she tried to interfere with state witnesses.
And o dumelana le nna he hore wena ha ona ka mkhona le bopaki ka teng. Ntwe e bitswang proof hore ha isale selemong seo kaofela ha sona hona le mo a neng a leka hore a itshunya diphuputso.
Ha ke na yona, Your Worship.
I do not have such proof.
And you will agree with me, she was dismissed at G4S. That means she doesn't work there anymore, is that correct?
O dumelana le nna he hore o lelekuwe G4S ha sa sebetsa moo.
Ho jwalo, Your Worship.
That's correct.
So the possibility that she will go to work and tamper with evidence at the CCR room, that is excluded because she don't have access to the work anymore because she was dismissed. Is that correct?
Jwale kgonahalo ya hore a ka ya kwana go G4S a fitla a kena ka bo CCR room a fitla a tlose mo dintho tse ding tse leng bopaki ka mo ha iyo ha ona kgonahalo e jwalo bane ona le lekuwa ha sana access mo.
Ho jwalo, Your Worship.
That is correct.
It is my instructions from applicant number 5. The state doesn't have a prima facie case against her, and the state is riding a dead horse.
Yena o plella hore butchuchisi ha bona case e tutubetseng kgahlanong le yena e leng hore o shebane le yona yona hantle butchuchisi mona bo palame pereshwe.
Ha ke dumelane le yona, Your Worship.
I do not agree with that.
Let me break it down for you in terms of the counts.
Well, a re late ho ya ka mokgo ditlolo tsa molao tsa shebane le tsona di tsamayang ka teng.
Do you have any proof? Let me rephrase my question. In terms of defeating the end of justice, do you have any proof that applicant number 5 claimed the body of Katlego at National Hospital?
Mo tabeng ya defeating o na le bopaki ba hore le yena o nkile karolo mo claiming ha stop sa Katlego go national.
Jwalo ke ha se ke tsholo, Your Worship, hore nna ke fana ka information ho botjhutjhisi. Botjhutjhisi ke bona bo draftang di charges. Jwale bona ka evidence re na le yona ba dumela se.
Like I've just said, my only job is just to provide the state with the information. And the prosecution is the one who decides what charges to charge who with.
Yes or no, Colonel, do you have any proof that applicant number 5 tried to claim the body of Katlego at National Hospital? Yes or no?
Ha re lateka e kapa tjhe. O na le bopaki wena mo bonko bopaki bo bontshang hore o claimile kapa o lekile o claima stop.
Che, ha ke na bona, Your Worship.
I do not have a proof.
Yes or no, do you have any proof that applicant number 5 tried to smuggle the corpse to cell 35 Broadway?
E kapa che. O likile ho smokola stupo.
Che, ha ke na yona Your Worship.
Askenya ka ga tronko ko Broadway, cell 35.
Che, Your Worship.
No.
Yes or no, do you have any proof that applicant number 5 satellite the corpse in cell 35 Broadway, G4S jail?
E kapa che. Ona le bopaki bo bontsha o chisitse stopo ko cell 35.
Ha ke na bona, Your Worship.
I don't have such proof.
In terms of the arson charges, do you have any proof that applicant number 5 satellite the cell 35 at G4S?
Batho ba qoswa le ka o chase. Ona le bopaki bo bontsha hore applicant ya bo 5 o chisitse
Ha ke
ko
na
cell
bona.
35.
Ha ke na bona.
I do not have such proof.
Colonel, you testified that you gave 2 versions to the Honorable Court. I will tell you what the versions is.
Bopaking ba ha o fane ka di-version tse pedi mo lekgotleng and ke tlo bolella hore na di-version tse o faneng ka tsona ke dife.
And I just want clarity on that version. Don't want to confuse you. I don't want to mislead you. I just want clarity on that.
A ke leke ho ferekanya mona and a ke leke ho kgelosa ka mokgwa o feng kapa o feng ke batla tlhakisetso fela kene.
You testified when Thabo Bester walked out of G4S with the. You testified when Thabo Bester walked out of the G4S jail, applicant number 4 and 5 opened the door for him, and later you changed and said only applicant 4 opened the door. Can I just get clarity on that?
So paking ba ha wena o boletse hore a Thabo Bester na tswa mo G4S mo tronkong ya teng. Applicant number 4 le applicant number 5 ba mo buletse gate. Nenne o ba e change ntwe eo ore hantlentle motho a mo buletseng gate ke applicant number 4. Jwale ko patlhakisetso mo ntlheng eo tata.
Your Worship, ha ke hopole ke la ka tjho jwalo.
I do not remember myself saying that.
I did not mean to interrupt my colleague, but I was about to rise, and I think the prosecutor was making a move as well. I do not have it like that in my notes either, Your Worship.
I agree with my learned friend.
And we agree with this.
Let me rephrase then. Thank you, Worship.
As I was trying also to.
Okay.
Indeed, Your Worship.
Yes,
I
thank you.
don't recall that.
When Thabo Bester walked out with a G4S uniform, who opened the door for him?
A re botse ka mokgwa ona. Thabo Bester ha a ne a tswa mo G4S mo group 4 mo. Ke mang a mo buletseng?
Ke batho ba sebetsang CCR center.
It is the personnel, the people who are working at the CCR center.
But can you tell who was the person at the CCR room who opened the door?
Empa o ka tjho he wena hona jwalo ka re bolella hore ke mang a ne le a le ka room ya CCR a ileng ya ba yena a tobetsa mo a bula mamane.
Ke Natasha Johnson le France Makgotsi.
It was Natasha Johnson and Franz Mahotz.
And in terms of the CCR room, if you say it's Natasha Johnson, does she have to log in with a password to enter? How do you know that it's specifically applicant number 5 that opened the door? How can you say that? In terms, does the system records that applicant number 5 opened the door on that particular time?
A go re bolelle ka mo go sebetsalang ka teng ka mo e le hore ha kwala mo o kwala ka password ya hae kapa wena o tsebile jwang hore ke ene Natasha a ileng a bula mo hona le password e bontshang hore ke yena butsi mo kapa ho etsahala jwang?
Ki bona batho ba ne ba le in charge ya ho bula le ho kwala meako ya roof.
They were the people who were in charge of opening and closing the doors of G4S.
Hape ba checka di camera tsa prison ka ho phethahala.
And again, they had to check the cameras in totality.
So with your investigation, you are saying the door where Bester escaped, it can only be opened by the CCR room. Is that your evidence?
Jalo paki ba bore menyako e le hore Thabo Bester o tswile ka yona e ka bulwa ke CCR room fela.
Ki bona ba bula menyako yohle.
Yes, they are the ones who open the doors.
And the camera system of the G4S prison, is it regulated by a private company with the name Integrigon?
System tsa camera di laolwa ke company private ya Integricon.
Ho jwale yohle.
Yes.
Because it's my instruction from applicant number 5 that Temkosi Dondolo and Derek de Klerk, they could also open doors from the cell phones and from their computers. Do you bear any knowledge of this? During the investigation.
Derek declared, ne?
Derek de Klerk?
And don't know. Okay. Bona ntwe ke bolelwang ke Natasha kwale hote Thembinkosi Dondolo le Derek de Klerk bana ba khona ho bula dintho di menyako eo ka di cell phone ba e bula mo di cell phone menyako ba bula wa tseba wena tjwe
Ha ke tsebe yohle motjha.
I do not know about that. It is new to me.
And this my instruction from applicant number 5, there's also a master key in the key safe that locks all the doors of the jails if there's load shedding. Do you bear any knowledge of this?
And hape Miss Johnson wa mplela moro ho bile hona le master key mo ka safe nya dinotlolo. Master key o khonang ho bula dikgoro tseo kaofela ha hona le load shedding. Wa tseba wena tjhe?
Ha ke tsebe yohle.
Well, I do not know about that.
So your testimony today is you are still of the view that CCR room opened this door. Is that correct?
Jalo wena he ntso itshwarelletse mo view nya ya hore CCR ke yone bula menyako eo.
Ho jwalo yohle.
Yes, that is correct.
And a convicted inmate, what uniform do they wear?
Batshwaruwa ba kwalletse ba fungwaneng ba le motho ba kwalletse ka mo ba apara uniform e fe?
Ha ke sa fosi yohle sare ke is sky blue or ha ke opula.
But if I'm not mistaken, I suppose they were wearing sky blue uniform. I do not remember very well.
And you will agree with me, if you have a person in a G4S uniform and a person in a sky blue uniform, and you look them through the camera, you can see then this is an inmate, this is a G4S official. Is that correct?
So that dumelana le nna he ha kere ha ona le motho a apereng uniform e sky blue ho be le motho a apereng uniform ya G4S o shebile mo camereng o tlo kgona ho tseba o tlo kgona ho bona yenwa ke inmate yenwa ke mosebetsi. Okay,
Ho jwalo, Your Worship.
that is correct.
And the job description of applicant number 5 is to monitor the camera and monitor movements within the jail. Is that correct?
And mosebetsi wa hae e ne le ho sheba di-camera wena di kae and a ba sheba le di-movement tse ka hara toronkwa ke.
Ho jwalo, le ho bula melao.
Yes, it is correct, as well as opening of the doors.
That is the opening of the jail cell doors. Is that correct?
E ne le ho bulwa ha menyako ya di-cell.
Ho jwalo, Your Worship.
That's correct.
And also opening doors for G4S officials within the jail.
And hape le ho bulela di-official tse ka hara toronkwa ke.
Ho jwalo, Your Worship.
That's correct.
And you will agree with me, the G4S uniform, it also conclude wearing caps. Is that correct?
And o tla dumelana le nna hore batho bana ba apere uniform ya bona ba G4S ba rwala le di-caps.
Ha ke sa fose, Your Worship, ba rwala di-mese.
If I am not mistaken, they wear beanies.
Or beanies? But you will agree with me, part of the uniform is wearing beanies on their heads. Is that correct?
Okay, o tla dumelana le nna ke re karolo ya uniform ya bona ko rwala di-mese mohlomong.
Ho jwalo, Your Worship.
That's correct.
And Thabo Bester had the G4S uniform on when he walked out of jail. Is that correct?
Thabo Bester o ne a apere uniform ya G4S ha a ne a tswa a tsamaya mo toronkong akere.
Yeah, Mr. Whether, I'm not sure whether we are on the same page, or maybe I do not understand something. We are not yet on trial, correct? And the thorough details, are they relevant for now? I'm not sure what point you are getting to, but I can hear that you are dealing thoroughly with the details or issues pertinent to the trial.
That's indeed, Your Worship, but
I'm not sure what are you trying to achieve. I just want to be on the same page with you.
Your Worship, my argument is there's no evidence against my client. The only evidence is CCR room opened the door. Even if CCR room opened the door, the person that walked out was a G4S official disguised in a G4S uniform.
Yeah, I think just put the statement to the witness
Thank
rather
you,
than
Worship.
trying to source out
Thank you, Worship.
information from him because it's not yet trial. Thank you.
Thank you, Worship. I will shorten it. Let me just get my phraseology correct, Your Worship.
Okay. No, just take your time. It's fine.
You will agree with me. You will agree with me that just
No. I will be patient because we were interrupted.
Thank you, Worship. I want to get my phraseology just correct. Thank you, Worship.
Even if you can request 5 minutes, it's fine.
No, Your Worship, I have it under control. Your testimony, Colonel, your testimony was that Thabo Bester walked out in a G4S uniform. Is that correct?
Ore Thabo Bester o tsile mo a apere uniform ya G4S.
Ho jwalo, Your Worship.
Correct?
And CCR room opened the door. Is that correct?
And CCR ke bona ba bulang ko ba butsing mamati.
Go jwalo, Your Worship.
That's correct?
At the end of the day, Bester pretended to be a G4S official when he walked out. Is that correct?
And I got long hair. Tell best now we can say I got a came on Wabasibit, but she for essay, Hana Atomo.
Go jwalo, Your Worship.
That's correct?
Thank you, Worship. And you testified that a team of investigating officers were appointed to investigate this case.
On se bopaki ba hore sehlopha sa bafuputsi se ile sa nkuwa sa thapela hore se investigate the case ena.
Go jwalo, Your Worship.
Correct?
During your investigation, this lost information that was not recorded, did you manage to retrieve such information with your investigation?
Diphuputso tsa lona information e ya qetela NSK e hatiswa yona o ile wa kgona ho fumana information e sa recordwa mo diphuputso tsa lona.
E downloadile, Your Worship.
It was downloaded.
Your Worship, can just take instruction. Colonel, you also agree with me that you don't have any proof that applicant number 5 received money from a person with a name TK. Is that correct?
Dumelana le nna ke re ha ona bopaki wena proof e bontshang hore applicant number 5 le ena o fumane tjhelete ho tswa ho TK.
Che, ha ke na bopaki, Your Worship.
Yes, I do not have such proof.
Now, based on all this information that came out, what is your view now still on bail? Do you concede for bail for applicant number 5?
Jole o ya ka bopaki ka dintho tsena kaofela tse hlahelletseng. Ke maikutlo a hao wa dumela jwang hore a fumane bail?
Ke a dumela se ka fumana bail, Your Worship.
Well, I still do not agree that she should be granted bail.
Colonel, I will leave that for argument. You wish you can request adjourn for 5 minutes. I just have 1 or 2 aspects to clarify, then I will be finished with my cross-examination.
No problem.
Thank you.
Can we take tea? Let us make it 15 minutes. Past 11.
Thank you, Mr. Buata.
Thank you, Worship.
Yes, you were still busy with your cross-examination.
Thank you, Worship. Can I proceed, Your Worship?
You may proceed. Still fresh.
Colonel, you agree with me? There's no picketing today outside the court building.
Ke re dumela nna ke ga gona picketing na tsatsing le. Ka ntle. I do.
And you also agree with me on the previous court date, 16 May 2023, there was also no picketing outside the court building.
Lana ka la re tla hlahella mana ka di 16 of May 2022 just na picketing. Ka ntle. It was there.
I'm putting it to you, Colonel, that on 16 May 2023, I did not see any picketing.
Na ha ke o jwetsa ke batla hore wena ka di 16 of May ka 2023 ha ka bona picketing na ka ntle ka mo.
Ke bone batho nna ba picketa ka ntle Worship.
But I saw people picketing outside.
And this picketing, is it from Bloemfontein Celtic supporters?
Ke batho ba picketang ke ba di supporters tsa Bloemfontein Celtic.
Ke dumela jwalo Worship.
I believe so.
And it's also correct that this picketing by the Bloemfontein Celtic supporters is they want justice for Katlego. Is that correct?
And they will picket at home ke kanto ke batho ba Celtic ke ha ba batla to ka etsale bakeng sa Katlego, okay?
Toka e etsahale hodima nyewe ena.
Yes, they are picketing for justice to be carried out in this case.
But you will agree with it, the picketing is for justice for Katlego.
Ke botsa hore na o dumelana le nna ha ke re ba picketa jwalo hobane ba batla toka ba batla justice for Katlego.
Ke jwalo ka se ke hlalositse ke dumela ke picketing ho etse toka hodima nyewe.
Like I've just explained, they are picketing for there to be justice done on this case.
And you will agree with me, you don't have any proof that applicant number 5 caused the death of Katlego.
Ere hape o dumelana nna ke re he ha ona bopaki kapa proof e bontshang ka mokgo accused number 5 applicant number 5 a entseng hore Katlego a hlokahale.
What's the relevance thereof? Because there's no charge that she caused. There's nothing that she caused the death of Katlego.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Worship.
Sibeka.
Let me rephrase my question. You will agree with me, the picketing is for it is for the interest for Katlego. The picketing.
The question is, what is the relevancy? Because there is no murder charge before court.
Your Worship, I won't take you further. I'll leave my questioning there.
Thank you, Mr. Matoko. Oh, yeah, Mr. Matoko, re-examination.
As court pleases, Your Worship. Colonel, I just want to ask one or two questions to clarify certain aspects that arise out of the cross-examination.
Ke to botsa potso e le nngwe ho ya tse pedi ho tla o ba le tlhakisetso fela ka dintlha tse itseng tse hlaelletseng ha ho ntse ho botswa wena dipotso ke ba buelle ba utlwa ke nna. Yes.
Let me start with the passport that was surrendered to you today. that relates to applicant number 4.
a qale ka passport e le hore we neuwe tsatsing lena e ho thweng ke ya applicant number 4.
Ho jwalo, Worship.
Yes.
And you were given an opportunity to peruse it, and you were asked about the date of issue and the date of expiry.
We love monyetla wa we phetle bo botswa ka hore na intshitswe neneng le hore e expire neneng.
Ho jwalo, Worship.
Yes.
But what I did not hear is whether there has been any indication of movements outside the borders of South Africa. Could you pick up anything?
Ntho e ke sa utlwang ka passport eo kapa ka nako eo o ntso o bua ka yona ke hore na ho nona le di-movement na tse tswang ka ntle ho di-border tsa South Africa. Ho ya ka mokgwa o no e shebile ka teng ho na le mo o bone hore e na le di-movement.
Ho jwalo, Worship.
Yes, I picked up some movement.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, re jwetse.
E bontshitse hore monga passport o na ntsa ya Lesotho, Worship. A tshelela ka Lesotho.
It showed that the owner of the passport was crossing to Lesotho.
Do you know when last did he cross to Lesotho?
Wa tseba o qetetse neng o cross ka Lesotho?
Stempe sa o qetela ke sa 2018, Worship.
The last stamp is from 2018.
And did you perhaps check more or less how many times he has been crossing into Lesotho?
Wila wa sheba ka makgetla makaya ntsa Lesotho.
Ina le ditempe tse 9, Worship.
It has 9 stamps.
And if I remember well, you conceded to the fact that when one crosses to Lesotho, the passport will show 2 stamps. One, as you leave South Africa, and the other one will as you enter into Lesotho. There will be 2 stamps for one exit from South Africa. 2 stamps.
And then also to dumetse wena hore passport ha motho a tshelela ka Lesotho o ba o e fumana di stamp tse pedi. Stamp se bontshang hore o a tswa ka South Africa le stamp seo bontshang hore o kena ka hara Lesotho. Ka mantswe a mang tripping A1 ya o kena o ba le stamp tse pedi.
Ho jwalo, Worship.
That is correct?
If that's the case, one would expect then to have even number of stamps, but you say there are 9.
Ha bene ditaba di le ka mofuta o motho o tla lebella hore di stamp tse hlahellang passportong di be di even numbers ka mantswe a mang di 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Wena hore 9.
Ho jwalo, Worship.
That is so.
I see. Let's move to another aspect. It was put to you on a number of times that the accused had been locked up in the same court cells here, and there has not been any complaints of any threats whatsoever since they are locked up together.
A re fetele ho e nngwe. O ile wa jwetswa wena ka makgetlo mo dipotsong ha ntse botswa mona hore baqosiwa bana ba nentse ba kwallwa hona mona khoto ka di holding cells ene ba kwallwa holding cell e le nngwe ho sena ditletlebo kapa di complaint di feng kapa di feng tse tswileng ha ba ntse ba kwalletswe mo.
Ho jwalo.
That is correct?
But clarify this, what is the position when they are here in the police cells in terms of supervision? Are they being supervised when they are locked up here? Are they being guarded?
Ha ba le bole ka position ya bone ha ba le mo di seleng tsa mo court ba supervise kapa ntlomong ba gatiwe batho bao ka mo ka poetsala.
Ba hona le maponesa a leng teng a ba katileng.
there are police officers who are there to guard them.
And if they are released on bail and they are at their own places, will that still be applicable? Will they still be guarded?
Jwale ha ba tswile ka bail, e mong le mong a le hae kapa sebakeng sa hae sa batlang ho ba sona, e ntse tlo sebetsa ntho eo ya hore ba ne ba guarduwe.
Chair, I will say it.
No, it is not going to be applicable.
The last aspect, I think it was at a time when Mr. Mururi was cross-examining you on the aspect of the community outrage. And in response to one of the questions, you made a reference to an aspect without elaborating. If I remember well, you made mention of KZN and Seneca.
Sheba hona le nako eo Mr. Mururi ane a o botsa ka taba ya ka mokgo setjhaba o reng se kgenne ka teng le hore hona le ditletlebo dillo mo setjhabeng kapa hona le outcry mo setjhabeng le ntho tse kaofela. Wena ha o no mo arabela mo ntlheng eo o ile wa qotsa ntho e etsahetseng KZN le etsahetseng Senegal empa o sa e hlakisi ka botlalo sa hopola. I remember that.
What did you want to tell the court in respect of KZN and Senegal in relevance to the court, to a case before the court now?
O ne batla bolella le khotla e ka ntho e etsahetseng KZN le ko Senegal ha o e bapisa le case ena e leng hore re shebane le yona hona jwale o batla ho bolella le khotla hore le shebe eng?
Ke ne ke batla ho hlalosetsa lekgotla hore KZN ho ile hwa tsowa merusu nakong ya the former president le Jacob Zuma honona le nyewe e ne le ka pela lekgotla.
I wanted to put it to the court that in KZN a riot or a chaos broke out when President Zuma had a case that he was facing.
Ke mo e le horeng setjhaba se qetetse se inkela le molao matsohong ho tjheswa dishopo.
The community ended up taking the law in its own hands, burning shops. What you said, the shop?
Mo e le horeng le honona le batho ba bang pele ho ba ile ba nna ba tswa le dikotsi.
Which resulted to having people being, which resulted to there being people who were injured in the process.
Bishop, is this the new evidence, Bishop, being laid here now about the burnings of the shops, Bishop?
Mr. Makrupa.
This is not new evidence. I'm saying that's how I started. To say under cross-examination, in response to one of the questions, he mentioned that my fear is what had happened in KZN in Senegal. And I said he did not elaborate. So I'm giving him that opportunity to elaborate. And that's exactly what he's doing. It's not something new. It's about KZN and Senegal.
Thank you, Mr. Geribota.
Your Worship, is my submission this evidence can be left for argument, but I mean that will be my argument that this evidence the witness is giving about now can be left for argument, Your Worship. That is my opinion.
How will it be argued if it's not before me?
I can take it further, Your Worship.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Kwenani.
Your Worship, this evidence was not argued to the end. Effectively, it makes it a new evidence on our side, especially certain aspects pertaining to how the shops were damaged and so on. I'm just wondering whether is the court then going to grant us a chance to deal with this aspect that we do not have dealt, because irrespective of the fact that my learned colleague says that the comments pertaining to this were not finalized.
If necessary and it's fair to do so, I will allow.
So, indeed, what is
I know procedurally it is not called for, but in the interest of justice, if it's necessary and fair, I will allow the questions.
indebted
If it is extended too far, to the extent that it brings a new evidence.
what is
Thank you.
And that would have concluded my re-examination. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you. All right, state.
Your Worship, is he
Oh.
excused?
Oh, you are done with it?
Yes, yes, I'm done with my
Okay.
re-examination.
Colonel Freeman, you are excused from the proceedings. Thank you very much.
Okay, o qetile mo di monto mo casing in o ka ikela.
That also is the respondent's case, the state's case.
Thank you.
If the court pleases, Your Worship. Your Worship, I was taken aback by my colleague saying that was the respondent's case. I was anticipating one more witness, but be that as it may, Your Worship, I will take guidance from the court, Your Worship. I have already shown two of my colleagues the predicament that I'm in, but I wish to say to the court, I would not be in a position to argue now. I think perhaps this would be an opportune time to look at an adjournment, basically for argument and for the delivery of the judgment, without preempting anything, Your Worship. We could maybe get 2 consecutive days to allow the court to also apply its mind to whatever arguments would be adduced.
Thank you.
That's the purpose.
Worship, I have an agreement for applicant number 5.
Yeah, I am of the view that we can adjourn the matter for argument only. As to judgment, I can't really bind myself that it will be subsequent to your argument.
We accept so, Your Worship.
Yeah, let us adjourn it for argument. I will hear from the
Perhaps-
litigants as well.
Perhaps this would be another opportune time just to take a 5-minute adjournment rather than to burden you with to and from with dates, Your Worship. I'm sitting amongst the most busiest practitioners in this town, so getting a date may be a problem, but if we could just adjourn for 5 minutes, I think we should come to something.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Makloko has shortened our lifespan in the matter. It's fine. Thank you. Court adjourns.